Hey everyone, this is Java Boy here with my first video on my YouTube channel, and in today's video I'm going to tell you my 3 tips for you to learn Java programming. There will also be a bonus tip for you at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. Now without wasting any time, let's jump straight into the video. Now, my first tip for you towards learning Java programming is to use Notepad to type your code and thereafter use the command prompt to execute the code. Now there are different softwares like the Eclipse or the NetBeans IDE which are also used for Java programming, but I recommend you to use the combination of Notepad and command prompt to run Java programs. I'm telling you this because when you are using Notepad to type your code, the chances of occurring an error is much higher. And later on this video, you are going to find out why errors are so important for you when you are learning Java programming. And in the meantime, let me give you a glimpse of how the NetBeans IDE will look like. There you go, this is the NetBeans IDE 8.2, and as you can see it is much more advanced than using the Notepad editor. It has also got much more features. Let's keep that aside for now and let's move on with our tips. Now that was my first tip for you, that is to use the Notepad to type the code and then the command prompt to execute the code. Now my second tip for you to learn Java programming is to make use of indentations in your programming code. Now for those of you who doesn't know what indentation is, it is nothing but making use of white spaces in your programming code which makes each block of code stand apart from each other. Now that might seem a bit confusing for some people, so let me give you an example. In this program which I have typed onto the Notepad editor, you can see how I have made use of indentations to space between different blocks of statements in this program. It's also easy to understand when you use indentations to code your program, and it's very important to identify the errors which might have occurred during compiling of the program. So making use of indentations is very important in Java programming because it helps you to identify errors much more easily. So that was my second tip. Now my third tip for you towards understanding Java programming is what I call as the MICE concept, which stands for make, identify and correct errors. Now as I have told in my first tip, when you are coding using the Notepad editor, it is very likely that you came across errors while compiling your program. Now don't get worried if an error has occurred in your program. Errors can help you to become a great Java programmer. Moreover, it is through this MICE concept that I have learned the basics of Java programming. Now there is no need to get mad when an error has occurred in a Java programming. So once the compiler shows an error has occurred in your programming, first try to identify where the error has occurred exactly on the programming code. Now in my second tip I have told you that to make use of indentations. This can help you in a big way to find out the error in the exact spot where the error has occurred. Now once you have identified where the error has occurred in your programming code, try out different techniques which might correct the errors that has occurred. So that was my third tip, which is the MICE concept, which might help you to master Java programming. Now as I told in the beginning of the video, there is also a bonus tip for you, and that is, here you go, that is the bonus tip for you is to understand the flow of control in a program. Now most of the people I know are by hurting Java programming, which is a bad technique, which I would not recommend to anyone. So when you are learning Java programming, try to understand the flow of control, and the flow of control is nothing but the pathway through which the compiler compiles each lines of code from the beginning to the ending of a Java program. So it is important to understand the flow of control in a program, because it is only then that you will be able to understand how the actual program works. So that was my tips for you to learn Java programming. If you enjoyed my video, please click the subscribe button and also comment your feedback. As I told you, this is my first video, so stay tuned for more Java related videos on this channel. This is Java Boy signing off.